Hey, I'm Jordan, I'm 24 and I work at Regen as a production assistant / sales. Here at Regen we grow brown onions, Cifra potatoes, Nicola potatoes, Mozart and Royal Blue. As well as selling to the market, we also purchase from other growers from the market so we can repackage them and send them out. So our suppliers like Hello, Coles, and then selling them back to the market again. The side of things I work on is packaging. So we get them in and then we package them ready to go out to our customers, pretty much in and out, pretty much in the same day. So my day-to-day duties as a production assistant at Regen go anywhere from unloading to loading trucks, picking orders, running the line and machines, and just general like factory forklift duties. So in our shed we've got two different lines. We've got the brush line, the wash line, so you've got the old school brush spud, which is just dirty spud off the farm, brushed up, straight into the bag kind of thing. Obviously the waste and the bad stuff gets chucked out. And then the wash side is a bit more complicated, has to go through a washing plant, get washed up and then come through and then get packaged. So it's a simple process, but at the same time there's a bit behind it that you've got to do. So my day would normally start having a production team meeting early in the morning to organise what the goal is to achieve for that day really. So that would involve planning out what our orders are for the day and maybe the next day even, and making sure we've got enough product coming in for us to package to then send out again. And then from then on we'd set up the lines, get the pallets ready, get the potatoes up or whatever we need to do, unload trucks, and then when everyone rocks up we would then start the process of the packaging and whatnot. So that would then involve just I guess keeping track of where we're at, moving pallets around, moving people around even to make sure that the line's keeping busy, and then making sure that nothing's overflowing really and everything's flowing throughout the day. The quality insurance, it's we call it Green Pass here, but we use it as a standard of the business now to go through and to make sure that every line we're doing is up to standard to meet the customer's requirements. And to my job to also do some of those checks to make sure that it's happening and it's going through correct. And so that would involve me just picking up a bag off the line and tipping it out, going through it, cutting some potatoes to make sure there's no internal defects. Also weighing the smallest and the largest to make sure that's within the spec range, and I just do that numerous times throughout the day. When I was 16 I started working here as a casual person just on a Saturday, folding crates, just packing really, general factory duties really I guess. That lasted for probably about a year and a half-ish, and then I moved on to do something else while I was at school. It was just something I wanted to try. While I was at school I was studied sports coaching, sports science. I came back here, I worked here for a year and a half. I did inventory, quality, just general factory duties and light forklift duties. I then left to do my carpentry apprenticeship, which I had finished just as COVID had started, and that's when I kind of lost my job. But lucky enough, from my prior experiences here, they were busy and they kind of hit me up and heard through the grapevine that I was very light on for work, and they said, hey, we're short for a forklift guy, do you want to come give us a chop out for a couple of days? And then those couple of days ended up being 5 days, and then from then on it ended up being full-time work again, and the opportunity to process through the business to where I am now. There's actually a lot to horticulture, and a lot of people don't realise that until you actually get into it. About 4 months in the working here again, I had the opportunity to go down to one of our farms in Hillston, New South Wales, and I got to go through the whole process of planting and the groundwork that goes in before, turning the ground over, hoeing it, all the stuff that goes into the ground, all the natural nutrients and stuff to make sure that the potatoes are ready to go. And then actually got to watch the planting process, which is not as simple as you think it is. It's not as simple as you dig a hole in the ground and you plant a potato. There's a lot of machinery that goes into it, and that's really got me interested. And then also finding out that going into the factory again, it's not just as simple as putting it into a bag. You've got so much to organise, there's so many things. You've got inventory, you've got quality control, you've got the office roles, there's numerous, inside the factory roles. So really, I came into this role just, like I said, after COVID, I came back as a forklift driver. But it's not just as simple as there's packers and forklift drivers. There's a lot more to it. I've learnt the inventory side, I've learnt the quality control side, I'm learning the sales side. I've gone to the farm and I've learnt the farming side. If you're prepared to, learn, then there's numerous opportunities for everyone. Some common misconceptions are that it's seasonal work, It's just when the farm's doing their harvesting season, that's when you can really work. In my case, and in many cases, it's not the case. There's a lot of packing sheds that run all year round and get their spuds from numerous different places, because not every place harvests at the same time. So down here in Gembrook and around here, where their harvest completely different to what they do in far north Queensland, and then completely different to where they do in South Australia and central New South Wales. So that it's always growing and harvesting. There's always work. It's not the same thing every single day. It's kind of a little bit different. In my case, one day I'm on the factory floor, one day I'm doing sales, and the other day I could be up the farm for a week and a half helping them out and then coming back down. It's rotating. If you've got the dedication to the industry, it tends to give back to you, because they can see that, like in terms of my employer, they see the effort I've put into it, and now they're giving back to me with the opportunity to move forward in the business. From my experience, really, it's never too late to get into horticulture, really. I'm 24 and I've been in and out of it, most of my adult life. Yeah, it's just good to see, what you're producing is ending up on somebody's plate, really. At the end of the day, you've watched it, in my case, you've watched it from the start all the way up to the finish once it leaves the door. And then when you go in the shop, there's no better feeling than when you look at a tag, and you see that tag's gone through your hands and it's at your local shopping centre. You know what I mean? And you've seen somebody pick that up. Somebody's picking up what you've done.